Hi, how are you today? So, this week we've been talking about frogs and butterflies and comparing shapes and working on our new trick word they. There it is, They. It has a digraph at the beginning and the EY make a long A sound, the A. And so I have something to read to you again today. This time it's about toads and frogs. And I didn't really know the difference between toads and frogs for a long time until I read some more things. And so this is a book about the difference between frogs and toads and how you can know if something is a frog or a toad. And it'll talk a little bit about the life cycle. Excuse me. You've been learning about that through some videos this week too. And so I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you now and show you a book, and I'll read it to you on the screen like we did the other day, and you can see what that is in just a second. This book is going to be about the difference between frogs and toads, and it's called Can You Tell a Frog from a Toad? And this is the cover of the book right here. Can you tell a frog from a toad? The author right here says Buffy Silverman, so that's who wrote the story. Can you tell a frog from a toad? And actually this is a real story. This is not a made-up story about a frog that can talk or something like that. This is about real frogs, and so this is called nonfiction. I'll go ahead and read it to you. They wiggle their tails and swim. They eat and grow. Slowly, tadpoles change into adults. This tadpole is about 12 weeks old. Watch for frogs and toads near ponds, lakes, and meadows. Can you tell these lookalikes apart? Who am I in purple? We're at the end of the book. How do we get there? Let me go back, all the way back. We started at the end here. Must have been because I previewed it. Let me get back to the beginning. Let's see. We can do it right down here. Here's a good place to do that. All right, here's where we really want to start. Can you tell a frog from a toad? Rough or smooth? Frogs and toads look a lot alike. As adults, they have no tail. They hop or leap on land. Can you tell which of these animals in red is a frog and which is a toad? Big eyes bulge from their heads. They shoot their sticky tongues out to catch insects. This insect just became a meal. Frogs and toads also gulp spiders and worms and other small animals. But can you tell them apart? Most frogs have smooth skin. The skin makes a liquid called mucus. Mucus helps to keep the skin moist. Look at the toad. An orange's bumpy skin. A toad's skin is rougher and drier than a frog's skin. The bumps are called warts. Some people think you can get warts from toads, but you cannot. Frogs and toads breathe with lungs, but they also breathe through their skin. Their skin must stay moist for them to breathe. Even a toad's dry skin has some moisture in it. A frog's smooth skin dries quickly. It can dry even when covered with a slimy mucus. Most frogs stay near water to keep their skin wet. A toad's thick skin does not lose water as fast. Thick skin lets a toad live away from the water. You might see a toad hopping around your backyard. A leopard frog sits on the bank of a pond. A hungry raccoon steps near. The frog leaps into the water. This is the green page. Excuse me. It swims to the muddy bottom. Its long hind legs help it escape. Frogs jump and swim with long legs. Purple page. A toad makes short hops on short legs. It hops and walks across meadows, gardens, and forests. A frog's body is often longer and thinner than a toad's body. Now we're on the page with the stretched out frog legs in the green background. Shorter, fatter toads do not jump as far as frogs. A frog's legs are much longer than a toad's, so that's a difference. On the orange page, when frogs leap into the water, their feet help them swim. Skin stretches between the toes of this frog's hind feet. The skin is called webbing. Webbed feet push water and help the frog move. It's kind of like swimming, how you push the water. That webbing helps that. We're on the purple page now. Toads that live on land have less webbing on their hind feet. They use their feet to walk and dig. When the weather is hot and dry, toads burrow into the ground. burrow means dig. Some toads have special hard scoops on their hind feet. Some frogs have less webbing too. A tree frog's feet are made for climbing. Round toe pads grip leaves and bark. Some tree frogs can climb up glass. Glass is smooth, isn't it? Staying safe on the yellow page. A toad sits among dead leaves. Its dull colored skin is hard to spot. Many toads stay safe by blending in with the ground. Blending in also helps them catch food. But some predators find toads. Predators are animals that hunt and eat other animals. Toads have two large glands on their backs. Poison oozes out of them, and the poison burns. It keeps predators from eating the toad, sorry. Many frogs also blend in with their homes. Bullfrogs hide among pond plants. If a predator strikes, the bullfrog leap far or swim fast. Frogs have poison glands too, but most frogs' poison isn't strong enough to hurt a predator. Some frogs have bright colors. They don't blend in at all. These frogs are usually very poisonous. A poison dart frog hops along the forest floor. Its bright colors warn a predator to stay away. This toad has bright colors, but it hides them. Its green back blends with the ground. The toad flips over when a predator nears. Its poison and its black and red belly warn others of poison. Egg time. Female frogs and toads both lay eggs in the springtime. Ooh, that springtime is right now, isn't it? They lay their eggs in puddles, ponds, and streams. Frogs lay clumps of eggs. The eggs are covered in jelly. Other animals eat most of them. So there's a picture of the frog eggs right here. Toads lay long chains of eggs. Predators eat most of these eggs too, but some survive. A few frog or toad eggs hatch into tadpoles. Tadpoles live in shallow water. These baby frogs and toads breathe with gills. Tadpoles don't have legs. See the tadpole? It's going to turn into a frog or a toad there. Oh, too many pages. I think this is the one where we started, though. We'll go back to it. Come on. You can do it. One page back. That's all we need. We'll go back this way. They wiggle their tails and swim. They eat and grow. Slowly, tadpoles change into adults. Watch for frogs and toads near ponds, lakes, and meadows. Can you tell these lookalikes apart? Okay, now we have some pictures in purple here. Let's look at this. In purple, look at the pictures below. Which ones are frogs? Which ones are toads? So it says right here, long legs let me leap into ponds. Which one has the longer legs? You're right, frogs. Short legs help me hop on land. Which one would that be? You're right, that would be the toads. I have rough, thick skin. Which one had the bumpy, thick skin? That was the toad, you're right. I have smooth, moist skin. Moist means wet. Which one had the smooth, moist skin? The frog, you're right, good. I lay eggs in clumps, or I lay long chains of eggs. Which one was the clump eggs? That was the frog. Which one was the chain eggs? That was the toad, good. One more thing here. The blue fun facts about frogs and toads. More than 4,000 different kinds of frogs live around the world. Scientists think that toads are part of a frog group. Many frogs can leap 20 times their body length. That's like you jumping the length of 2 school buses. So if you started up by the front of one of the buses and you leap to the back of 2 buses, behind 2 of them. The longest frog jump recorded is more than 33 feet. That's probably longer than the room that you're in right now. It's pretty long. When a snake grabs a toad, the toad blows its body up with air. That makes it hard for the snake to swallow it. But the snakes still eat many toads. Most frogs and toads do not take care of their eggs or tadpoles, but a few do. One type of frog that lives in Australia swallows her eggs. The tadpoles grow in her stomach. They hop out of her mouth and become frogs. Very interesting. And so that's some things about tadpoles and frogs. and the difference between the two. And so we're back. And so that's a little bit about the difference in frogs and toads. I'm also going to be reading to you this week Red-Eyed Tree Frog. So you'll see that. That's a nonfiction book too. This is actually a real book about real things that happen. And we just finished another story, 134. We'll change that into 135. 135. There we go. 135 things we've read together. It's going to give you a real quick check of our trick word for this week. So we see it lots of times, just like we would if we were at school. What is this word? T-H-E-Y. It has the digraph, like thumb. Th, and this makes a long A. A. They want to learn more about frogs. We'll be learning more about frogs this week. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.